Hello and welcome back to Operation Double Mythic. Today we are going to be jumping into some more Pioneer Masters Best of One draft. We are in Plat 4 in Limited right now, and so we're going to keep drafting, try and get up into Diamond and up through Mythic, but I think the key is pretty much nothing to do but play more drafts. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's jump into a Pio draft right now. Okay, so as usual, I say this at the start of every video, but at this point, Pioneer Draft is pretty well explored. I am looking for Dimir, I am looking for Red X Aggro, and I'm looking for Gates. And those are the three archetypes that I think work the best. We have done a hell of a lot of Dimir, and I'm not against just doing it again. You guys cannot stop me. However, it would be nice to put together a good red deck, and I haven't had a good Gates deck in a while either. So, let's see. Let's see what happens. I'm open to anything. And by anything, I mean specifically those three archetypes. Alright, pick one, pack one. So our rare is Fleecemane Lion. It's a good card, it's decent. Silk Wrap is pretty nice. There's a Dimir Guildgate, which is not super desirable. Pretty bad pack. Pretty bad pack. Rimrock Knight is the... honestly, might be the card I want the most out of this pack. Because if we are doing like Gates stuff, none of these cards are particularly important. It might be that Silk Wrap is the best card in the pack. Ash Zealot is pretty decent. Burst Strike Haste 2/2, good in an aggressive deck. The second line of text is not as important, but maybe I'll take the Ash Zealot here. Burst Strike Haste 2/2. It's in heavy red. It's pretty good for like red devotion stuff. And it has this, I guess, minor upside. But mostly we want it because it's a good body for 2 mana. Now there's some really nice Dimir stuff in this pack. But there is a Heart Piercer Manticore, which is super, super good. There's also a Gearapor Gearcrafter, which I'd be pretty happy to take. That Rimrock Knight, I would love it if that wheeled. I would absolutely love to see that wheel. Unveiled Tactician is good, but I think the cards I'm looking for, like, yeah, I actually think Heart Piercer is just the best card in this pack. So I'm pretty happy to take that here. It's a 4 mana 4/3. When it enters, you sack another creature, and it deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. So this can just win you the game out of nowhere. You can trade it off pretty aggressively, embalm it back for 6, and win a game, because you can go straight to your opponent's face with a big pumped up creature. So that is pretty sweet. It does not like so if we have Ash Zealot in play, then our Heart Piercer deals 3 damage to us when we cast it from the graveyard. So we've got to bear that in mind, but I'm not worried about that. Not too worried about it. Now there is a Gearapor Gearcrafter, which is pretty great, and a Witch's Mark, which is very good. We don't have any heroic creatures yet, but we are looking for them. There's also a District Guide and a Golgari Guildgate. Those are pretty good cards for the Gates deck. I think it's probably for me between the District Guide and one of these two. Kind of think I want to take the Witch's Mark, though I do think Gearcrafter is very good. You can usually get them a little later. Now there's a Wild Slash, so seeing some rewards. There's like Skyrider Elf for the Gates deck. There's some sort of Gatesy stuff. Not much looking that good from Dimir. White does seem incredibly open, but actually this is quite a late Wild Slash, and we already have one Witch's Mark. So there's a second Wild Slash. I think that's very good. Now green is super open. Boon Sate is decent. Rhino, Charm are all fantastic cards. We could splash green. If we find that it is super open, like green, red, and Nullback Rhino is really good. But I'm just going to take the Wild Slash here and stay open. Couple of cheap interaction spells. Now, Dragon Mantle is really nice. So, Akun Warrior is fine. Calm the Ambush would be good in the deck that we are trying to build. But just in case we don't play green, Dragon Mantle is an ideal target card. Now there's a Rimrock Knight. I'm going to take that here. We might even get a second one, because this one went really late. So our pick 9, we might pick up a second Rimrock Knight, which would be pretty sweet. I'm not that keen on Stone Shock Giant. I don't think this is super good. Boundary Lands Ranger is just fine. Now, I'm actually kind of thinking if we're going to get another Rimrock Knight back, I am thinking I might take the Kalni Ambush here and start exploring green, because the ambush is pretty good. No, I'm going to take the Boundary Lands Ranger, keep it safe. So Emissary is very useful. Hero of Erois went all the way around, which is pretty nuts. Could do red-white. Yeah, I can see taking the Hero of Erois here. I think it is very good. But I'm going to take the Rimrock Knight and stay open. And we're still on red, really. That's all we're thinking. The only option I think we want here is the Trailblazer. Now in this pack, probably the Lotus Eye Mystics, and we might get a good enchantment back. Imposing Sovereign is not half bad in this deck. Zendikar Incarnate, less impressed with in green-red, but Imposing Sovereign can be pretty aggressive, which is pretty sweet. None of these cards are interesting. I think I am just going to take the Guild Gate. And Akun Warrior is fine. Fine, acceptably playable. Opening Sylvan Primordial is not fantastic. That's not really what we want to do, but there is an Ordeal of Perforos in this pack, which is really sick. So it's looking like we're doing red-white. Ordeal of Perforos is very, very good. I would love to get some Girapur Gear Crafters to make some 1/1s to whack an Ordeal of Perforos onto. Pretty good on like even an Ash Zealot. We need more creatures, really. So we've got one Wild Slash here. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to target our own creatures. All we really want, now 5. So it's some more creatures, some high quality creatures are our biggest priority. Now, we could take Artful Maneuver here, and it is a pretty nice card for this deck. But I can see dropping these 3 white creatures for potentially green. Like Audacity is very good, and green feels very open. I can also see just taking the Slide Runner. It's perfectly fine. Interesting. I think I'm going to take the Slide Runner, and we're going to be making a decision very soon about whether we are in white or not. So now I'm going to take this Gnarlback Rhino, I think. 2 mana 3/2 Reach Trample. Enters with a +1/+1 counter on it for each other creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. So, I mean, I guess we've got Ordeal of Perforos, we've got Lagronaband Trailblazer. The double green is not what we want in our aggressive red deck. I kind of think it's better to just lean as aggressive as possible. I'm unsure about Avatar of the Resolute. Nah, it's really good. Yeah, we could lean off the aggro and go towards Stompy. And for the right cards, we will do that. There is a Gruul Guildgate here. This deck doesn't really want the tapped lands. Perforos's Emissary is fine. Pretty good, in fact. In green, we have, like, we could take the Guildgate here. We could take Honored Hydra. But I think I want to keep... I do think I actually want to keep the curve low to the ground. I don't know. I don't know about Gruul in this format. I'm going to take the Perforos's Emissary. Now there's a Warhound. That's pretty nice. There's also a Martial Glory. Yeah, I think Avatar the Resolute's interesting. But Warhound is decent. And I do want to go as heavy red as possible. What's Fanatic of Mogus do? 4 mana, 4/2. Potentially deals, you know, 2, 3, 4 points of damage. I think I'd rather have another Rimrock Knight. Yeah, 4 mana, 4/2. If it comes in and deals like 4 or 5 damage, nah. I'd rather just take another Rimrock Knight. Now, we could take a Kalni Ambush, or I'm not sure whether we're doing white or we're doing green. Can see taking the Kalni Ambush here. Can also see taking Heliod's Pilgrim to find an Ordeal of Perforos. Potentially a removal spell if we find any more. Yeah, Pilgrim's fine. And I actually think if we're taking anything in this pack, it could be the Dreadball. Because we could drop this white and play red and black. The Guild Gate would allow us to play blue. That's not really what we want to do. I'm just going to take the Dreadball here. And I'm going to whack it in the sideboard. I don't think it's that likely that we're gonna play it. Now, Lotus Eye Mystics or Boundary Lands Ranger. Am I gonna play a second Boundary Lands Ranger? I think it's not that strong. I'm gonna take a Lotus Eye Mystic. Don't think we're gonna play it. I do not think it is likely that we're gonna get there. Because we have the 3 Rimrock Knights, I don't necessarily need the another 2-drop, and we're going to open a second one anyway. So, I'll take another Boundary Lands Ranger here. Yeah, so I think we're doing fine. Kind of think I should take the Guild Gate here. Could just take the Aspect of Hydra. Yeah, okay. We're thinking about green. Slide Runner's fine, and then I guess Trailblazer here. I'm not that excited for the Trailblazer. I think it's like fine. There's a Warhound here. Medamai, unfortunately, is not what we're doing. There's an Alpha Authority, which is very good. So, do we want to play green? That is the question. We have Emissary... No, sorry. We have just Ordeal of Perforos that puts counters on things right now. We do have these 2 Laguna Band Trailblazers, which we wouldn't play. Think I'm going to take the Warhound. And we're kind of looking at nearly mono red, right? Labyrinth Champion is pretty decent. Knightly Valor is good. There's another Warhound. And there is a Hero of Lena Tower. Gorklan Rampager is pretty good too if we're doing red-green. If we're doing red-green. Which I can see. I can see red-green being pretty good. There's a Kalni Ambush, which could be the better take. I like Gorklan Rampager. Let's take that. And now what are we looking at? 19 creatures, 25 cards in the deck. So I think Lotus Eye Mystics can go. This is a pretty bad pack. Could be an imposing Sovereign. There's nothing really that interesting. I do think we're going to be playing red-green. Don't think Aspect of Hydra is going to get there. Do you know what? We might not be on green. I'm not sure we're on green just yet. I can see Boulder Salvo being the take. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to take Boulder Salvo. Now there's another Ordeal of Perforos. That's very good. There's a Hero of Erois as well. And there is a Gearapple Gearcrafter. I would like one of those, but Ordeal of Perforos is too good to pass up. Witch's Mark's pretty decent. Compulsory Rest is pretty nice. It's not nice giving the opponent food, but it is nice having... I mean, right now, we don't really have many creatures that are good to target, but an Ordeal on Lagonaban Trailblazer is pretty good. Witch's Mark number 2 is also pretty good. I think I'm going to take the first Compulsory Rest. And there's a Boros Guildgate here. There is a Gearcrafter, which is better for our curve right now. Now there's an Ardenvale Tactician and a third Trailblazer. I think first Ardenvale Tactician sounds good to me. Boulder Salvo can go. In our 2-drop slot, kind of feeling Imposing Sovereign is just fine. I think Boundarylands Ranger probably feels pretty weak. I might cut that. Hopeful Eidolon's not bad. It's not super good. Nothing else that interesting. Do not think I'm very likely to play 2 Akoum Warriors. I guess I'll take the Eidolon, but I don't think it's that likely that we're going to play it. It's pretty good like in a mirror match, but that's kind of it. None of these cards very exciting. If anything, I guess I'll just take the Blood Firing Courses. Another Slide Runner. Not going to make the deck, I don't think. But, you know, our deck is there. There is Gearapple Gearcrafter, which is very nice. So that's pretty sweet. Dragon Style Twins as well is like just fine, but I think we have our deck. There's Boros Guildgate. And there's a Boundarylands Ranger. Okay. Yeah, so we have an aggressive red-white deck. We don't have tons of ways to... Like, we didn't find any... of the 1/1 that makes more 1/1s. Can't remember what it's called. A Crowan something. Something. Red is the color that we need the most, but we do have a double white pit. So right now we have 10 red sources plus the Akoum Warrior. So effectively 11, and we have 8 white sources altogether. So I think this is cutting a mountain. I think we are playing 16 lands plus an Akoum Warrior. Can see cutting down to 15 even. Can see cutting down to 15. Yeah, I can see running it like this. Because our curve basically caps out at 4. If we flood out, we do have stuff to do with our mana. So, we have Embalm, we have Bestow. We have Bestow over here. So maybe I'm supposed to go a little higher on land. If I did play 16 lands, what would be my cut? So right now, this is our removal package. I guess with these slide runners, a little bit more land is a bit better. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ways to target relevant creatures, but really only 1, 2 creatures that we actually want to target. That's the Lagonaban Trailblazer. So our game plan is going to be like Trailblazer and then Rimrock Knights, Witch's Mark, and go over, like, get them dead real quick with Trailblazers. That is going to be our plan. So I think the cut could be a slider, and it could be the Sovereign. I think the Sovereign is fine, not great. We have a bunch of 2-drops. Our curve is so heavy on 2-drops, which is fine. No issue with that. Yeah, okay. Heliod's Pilgrim finds compulsory rest, which could be important. The Wild Slashes are important to clear, like, Baleful Eidolons and stuff. Alright, let's go. Let's try and run some people over. Yeah, so a Crowan Warriors would have been nice. We did see one Martial Glory. We did have the chance to pick that up, but we weren't sure if we were doing red-white just yet. But that is fine. Would have definitely preferred a couple of Crowan Warriors over a couple of Lagonaban Trailblazers, but they'll do the trick. They will do the trick. Well, actually, I guess that remains to be seen, whether they will do the trick or not. Great hand. No notes. Amazing. We can... We can just Wild Slash that. That's not really that good. So I'm going to hold up the Ardenvale Tactician and tap it on the end step. Jesse and Thief. Okay. So I'm going to... Yeah, mana's getting a tiny bit awkward. But I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna tap like this. Yeah, mana's getting a little bit difficult. Very, very constrained. So what am I supposed to do? Guess I'm just supposed to play out the Ardenvale Tactician and be as efficient as possible. Alright, they get my Tactician, but as long as they're not drawing cards, that's fine. It's pretty much a 1-for-1 trade. Ordeal is good. But I have to get this, this Eidolon out of the way. That's so awkward. Okay, I gotta pass this turn, unfortunately. This is why a Akoum Warrior would be way better than Lagonaban Trailblazer, because then we wouldn't have to play so much white if we didn't have two important 1-drops that were white. guess I'm going to go for the Rimrock Knight. Yeah, there's Cruelty. Gearcrafter's fine. Mountain would have been better. That's not great. So I have to... Do I have to just play a Rimrock Knight here? That is very, very uncomfortable. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. I have to... Oh, the mana's really screwing me here. Yeah, because Rimrock Knight can't block. So I need to either block and wild slash or draw a mountain. Block and wild slash is a bit better. Okay. I guess block and Rimrock Knight is better. There's a mountain. Alright, so they have 2 cards left in hand. Kind of need to clear this Eidolon first. Really weird. But I have to wild slash this first. Play out the Rimrock. Okay, I think it starts here. We're gonna get to Emissary. Okay. Yeah, we probably need to... I need to fix the mana base, I think. I really needed an aggressive red start. Don't know if we can even deal with a Dreadhound. Yeah, we can't. Okay. Yeah, they're a little too far ahead now. We don't... Yeah, we just weren't able to punch through even nearly fast enough So. We've got to go faster than that. And our land did screw us pretty heavily there. So am I supposed to do something like slide runner in? Yeah, I mean, do we even need this white? Can we go all in on red? Like, we could probably play 14 lands plus an Akoum Warrior. And then play, like... Could play Dragon-style Twins. Boulder Salvo. Enforcers. Yeah, I mean, can we run it like this? Let's try it. See what happens. So we, our 1-drops are not nearly as good. Well, yeah, all we have is removal on 1. So no good 1-drops. We do have a ton of 2-drops. And we just guaranteed, we're much more likely to be able to curve out. In hindsight, I think the mana issues that we would have presented being an aggressive deck were not worth putting up with just for the value of those white cards. Lagonoban Trailblazer, I don't really even rate that highly. Okay, let's run some people over. We're going first. We have 1 land and a Akoum Warrior, so we are going to play that. Going to play this tapped. Alright, interesting. A mountain. Now, Rimrock Knight can be pretty fragile. But we do have... Yeah, okay, I'm going to play out Rimrock Knight. Hoping that they tap out and don't present just a Wild Slash. They do present a Wild Slash. Okay, taking 3. Interesting. There didn't really appear to be any stick there. Still going to play out the slide runner first. Okay, a Boros Guild Gate. Are they actually gates? Now there's stick too. Now there's stick, which intrigues me. So if one of these is sticking around, I think I'd rather it be the Rimrock Knight. Wow, okay. They've yet to do anything. We have 7 on the board right now. They surely have to do something this turn. Otherwise, we are presenting lethal with a Rimrock Knight and an Ordeal. But none of their options are very good. Scab Clan Berserker attacking. I think that just wins us the game. All right, yeah. So I guess we were playing around like just Wild Slash there, blowing us out. But Mono Red does feel better. Stuff like Perforost's Emissary is not very good, but I guess we do have like Boundary Lands ranges and stuff to discard those cards. But that was pretty sweet. I quite like the Slide Runners. They're pretty good. They're very good early game, and even in the late game, if you can start kitting them up, they just inherently have trample, which is very good. Opponent was crazy playing the Scarb Clan. They might just not have had anything else to do, but playing a Scarb Clan Berserker and attacking in that position seems wild to me. Okay, game 3 here. Let's see if we can keep running people over. Pedestrians beware. This is a bad hand. I think I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, that's what we needed. Akron Crusaders, where are ours? I mean, if we were gonna lose, we were gonna lose to basically our deck, except a better start and on the play. Rabble Master now? That's pretty nuts. They've had a nuts start. Maybe double spelling next turn will help. I mean, this... What deck could beat this in Limited? Right, let's go. On to the next one. I think that was a, like, constructed level start. That was insane. A Crone Crusader into Witch's Mark, into Goblin Rabblemaster, into Goblin Rabblemaster is a nut draw in a constructed setting. That was so sick. Okay, 1-2. Good hand. Bloodfire Enforcers is pretty good, because we have a Wild Slash. Would love to just be on the play, though. Okay, Gates. We should have pretty good game against Gates. If they are going to like just Gates Ablaze, I think I would rather them Gates Ablaze 2 Slide Runners Zendikar Incast. That is fine. And there's a War Clan Rampager. Yeah, okay. No attacks. Interesting. Okay. Is there anything I would want to discard here? There isn't. Okay, so what we are going to do is give this +2/+0. Trade. Yeah. Wild Slash here. Play out a Rimrock Knight. Good stuff. Now, if we can deal a bit more damage to them, remember, if we can get them down to 5, then Bloodfire Enforcers plus Heart Piercer Manticore just wins the game. Okay, a 2/2 isn't going to cut it. Yeah, they're down to 5. So Heart Piercer does win next turn. They're going to Essence Scatter this? No. Sure. Better that than... Well, actually, they can't use that on the Heart Piercer Manticore, but still, this is fine. Take a 6/6. We can answer the 6/6. Just need to deal one more point of damage to them, though. Okay. This is a little strange. But what I'm supposed to do is play the Ranger. No attacks. Bestow over here. Make another 5 power creature. And then Heart Piercer next turn. Okay, if the last card in their hand is an Essence Scatter, then that's bad, but at least we still have the Rimrock Knight. Yeah, we would still have attack, Boulder Rush, and trade for their creature, at least. Okay, got there. We got there, and that puts us on 2-2. Can we squeeze out a couple more wins? If we can go 4-2, if we can go 4-3, at least I'll be somewhat happy. It's a good hand. think I'm playing the Akun Warrior out, though. For my curve. Storm Chaser Mage. So I'm gonna play a. I'm gonna attack. I'm play a Gear Crafter here. Because Mogus's Warhound on the 1/1 is pretty sweet. Opponent has another constructed deck. Wild Slash is pretty nice. Could just play this out. Is it better to Wild Slash this? Not when it's... No, it's got Prowess. That's really no good. Yeah, I think I have to do this and Wild Slash the Swift Spear while it is tapped out. Cool. Alright, we're winning the race. Don't think Storm Chasers are really that scary. And one black. Yes, this is fine. So we'll play the Bloodfire Enforcers. Go to combat. We can discard this land. Ordeal is pretty sick on a Bloodfire Enforcers. Oh, actually, no, we don't have the sorcery. Still good on the Bloodfire Enforcers, though, because they don't have 3 power on the board. So let's get the Ordeal going. Let's put it on the Enforcers here. Do they just have like Wild Slash? That would be the biggest blowout. Yeah, so I guess it goes on the token, actually. Let's decline to discard. Interesting. So that's 7. This trades off both of their creatures. I think that's worth it. We're close to just a Heart Piercer victory. Swift Warkite. Getting back... probably the Niblis. Pelagie. Okay, they're looking... oh, that's a Whip of Erebos. That's pretty nice. Still, this just wins because we can... well, we can now... we have a couple of different ways to win, right? Still, they have to chump. Go down to 3, and we just Heart Piercer. Sick. Alright. It is hard to beat how fast this deck can be. Let's pick up one more win, and then I feel like we have achieved what we were meant to achieve with this deck. Not that it can't... I don't think it can go all the way. It doesn't feel like a trophy deck to me. But playing super fast mono red absolutely does work in this format. So still, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're 3-2. Nothing crazy. Let me win the coin flip. Nope. Not happening. So actually, Bloodfire Enforcers is relevant here. Because we do have an instant and a sorcery. Okay, gates again. That's kind of what we like to see. Didn't feel like they had any removal. Yeah, it didn't feel like it. Let's wait. Okay. That is fine. That is cool, because what that allows us to do is Dragon Mantle this thing. Boulder Salvo the Rubble Belt Raiders. And then attack. Love to see that. Love to see that too. So let's play Bloodfire Enforcers. We can give it Burst Strike at instant speed. What are you up to over there? Heart Piercer Manticore. Sacking nothing. Okay. I think the Slide Run has probably lived past its usefulness. But I would love to Ordeal of Perforos the Bloodfire Enforcers. Okay, I'll take the full 6, which means I get to deploy a Boundaryland Ranger. Bane. So when it attacks, defending player exiles 2 permanents they control. Okay. Let's discard the Slide Runner. Is there any point attacking with the Boundarylands Ranger? I think there is, actually. Means we get 4 damage through. They are down to 1. And we can actually... we could have Ash Zealoted for the win. No, they would have just blocked. But this means they can't embalm. I will exile the Boundary Lands Ranger and one, because Ordeal is lethal. They can't embalm. Wait, is it not a cast? Shit. I made a damn fool of myself. Now I look silly. I thought it would deal 2 damage to them. You may pay the embalm cost, exile it, and create a token. That's not a cast. That is not a cast. Okay, so Warhound on here then. Still think we've got this game. There's a mountain. We just attack. They have to block. We play out the Ordeal. Sorry, the Emissary. Yeah, we still got it. But okay. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Embalming is not casting. Sweet. That feels good. We are 4-2. That's kind of where I want to be. Like, if we don't win another game, I feel fine about that. But let's see how far we can go. No reason to hold back. 4-2. Mono red. Maybe we can even go all the way. Who knows? I mean, we've won all these games and we haven't been on the play much at all. If at all, actually. We have been on the play twice and on the draw 4 times. And we are once again on the draw, but the hand is good. The hand is good. This is a good slide runner hand. Let's go, slide runners. Okay, well, that's rather big. And somewhat problematic. Might need to do something like this. The vigilance on that thing just is insane. It's just getting bigger. It's just getting bigger every turn. And they have a Dreadball. Yeah, I don't know how we beat a Gatebreaker Ram, to be honest. I have nothing for this thing. I guess what I could do is try, if they don't play a land, try and block it here. They have literally played a gate every turn. So, okay, and a Chasm Skulker. Many problems to deal with. Many problems indeed. Gotta go no attacks. Somehow answer the Chasm Skulker later and trade everything off for the Ram. Okay, we can't beat a Chromantical. Okay, that was pretty nuts. Still, super fast 4-3. We will take it. With a pretty mid red deck with no Crone Crusaders, we will take that. We take those. All right, that is it for this video. Quick 4-3 with mono red. It is definitely something you can do in Pyro Draft, but I think there are some key cards that you're really looking for. Rimrock Knight is one of them. We did get 3 of those. A Crown Crusader is another one. We didn't find any of those. I do think splashing for another color is worth it. I think it might have been correct to put in just a splash-worthy amount of forest, like 4 green sources, and play some green cards. Maybe that was what we were supposed to do, but still not going to turn my nose up at 4-3. So that is going to be it for today, but I will see you again for more Operation Double Mythic. Bye for now.